6:01, the meeting is now called to order. Mr. Casiano, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
René Rodríguez is absent. Cesar Nevares.
Here.
Ralph Duran.
Here.
Mayor Elia Garcia.
Here.
Victor Perez.
Here.
And Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
At this time, would somebody entertain a motion to move item number 12, 16, and 17 up?
Motion moves items 12, 16, and 18, and 17, excuse me, to be next on the agenda.
Second.
René Rodríguez is absent. Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Yes. Item number 12, discussion and action to approve an interlocal agreement with El Paso County for animal control services to the city of Socorro in the amount of $63,455.28 and to authorize city manager or her designee to execute agreement.
Motion to approve for discussion.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is just a renewal of the animal control services that we currently have with El Paso County. This year, we are being charged $11,792 less than last year for the services. We do have a representative here from the animal control if you all have any questions. Do you all have any questions? No?
René Rodríguez is absent. Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Item
Yes.
number 16,
Mayor, we had a,
Yes.
item number 16, discussion and action and approval of appointment of Andrew Arroyos to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Place 2. Mr. Duran?
Motion to approve the appointment of Andrew Arroyos to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Place 2.
Second.
René Rodríguez is absent. Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
Ivan Colombia Lopez.
I'm going to abstain only because of relationship. Thank you.
Item number 17, swearing in of newly appointed commissioner.
What is this, what is the,
I'm sorry.
because I apologize, ma'am, because it depends on what kind of
relationship.
I don't know if you got the email.
I don't.
Okay. So, Mr. Arroyos is, and I don't think we're related, we're not related by blood, number one. Number two, he's married to my husband's cousin's daughter, just so you know. All righty, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I went through it and I sent an email. Right, and he's not related in any way that way.
I, Andrew Arroyos, do solemnly swear confirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public or employment as reward to secure my appointment or confirmation thereof. I, Andrew Arroyos, do solemnly swear and confirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Socorro, Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of the state.
Item number 4, public comment.
Mayor, we have several speakers. Our first speaker is Melvin Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, I just wanted to know what was the status on Veterans Park. That's my main concern.
Unfortunately, we cannot answer questions during public comment, but you can address it to staff,
Okay,
correct?
We can give them a report.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Ms. Rodarte, he's asking for an update on the progress on Veterans Park.
Correct. Right now, the staff is getting, we just changed directors and supervisors. So it should be in the next couple of months that you'll see some movement there.
so in a couple of months, they should start building, or what's the status, like what's
Well,
the?
the concept, okay, so the council approved $65,000, and that's not gonna give us other than just the walking trail. The lighting has already been installed. So right now, it's just the paving of the walking trail and putting a couple of flags up for now. That's what the $65 will cover. I know our grants department is going after grant funding in order to receive grants in order to enhance the park.
And do you guys already have companies in mind, or are you guys gonna set out a bid, or?
No, it's
how-
gonna be in-house, sir. That's why it's taking so long, because we will be doing all of the work in-house.
Okay.
Thank you.
Verónica Rodríguez. Sergio Martínez. Pase. Señor Martínez, tiene 3 minutos.
Ok, miren, primeramente quiero darles las gracias por darnos la oportunidad para estar aquí. Y segundo, es por el motivo que estamos aquí, es que nuestra comunidad que está en Grijalva Gardens tiene muchos problemas. No tiene banquetas, no tiene pavimento. Han recapeado las calles, pero están en muy malas condiciones. Y ahorita tenemos muchos problemas en esa comunidad. Con el distrito escolar de la escuela de Socorro, como ustedes ya saben, y ahora, precisamente ahora que ha llovido, están pésimas las calles para que los niños caminen por esas calles. Nosotros queremos que nos ayuden para arreglar esas calles, ponerles a nuestros hijos banquetas, pavimento, arreglar todo lo que se pueda arreglar, limpiar las casas, limpiar los terrenos que están en muy pésimas condiciones. Los niños ahorita no pueden, en estos días de lluvia no pueden caminar por las calles. Si ustedes se dieron cuenta, las personas que fueron, es muy pésimo el pavimento, las calles, todo. Y nosotros queremos que a ver si ustedes nos pueden ayudar para mejorar nuestras calles. Como dicen ahí, es una comunidad que se llama Grijalva Gardens, pero de Gardens no tiene nada. Y eso es, no sé si ya se me acabaron los 3 minutos, pero eso es para mí lo más importante. Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Alicia Delgado. Señora Delgado, tiene 3 minutos.
Pues yo estoy aquí porque yo soy, vamos a decir, pionera de Grijalva Garden y tengo ahí 40 años y nada más he visto una vez que se haya pavimentado esa calle, para primer lugar. Segundo lugar, no hay un sign de que veanos en qué puedan ir los carros, que no hay nada, no hay ni uno solo. Fueron a echar brea y a los hoyitos que habían y ahorita con el agua ya están otra vez igual. Y pues es todo lo que le tengo que decir, a ver si es posible, pues pongan un poco de atención con nosotros porque nosotros pagamos bastantes impuestos, cada año sube y las calles están de lo peor. Gracias.
Mayor, for the record, René Rodriguez arrived to the meeting at 6:12. Marta Heredia. Marta Hernández. Señora Hernández, tiene 3 minutos.
Bien. Buenas tardes a todos. Yo nomás para lo mismo, que no hay sign en las calles y que corren muy recio los carros, mucho peligro para niños, para adultos. Agarran la calle como si fuera pista de carreras. Y las calles igual, que están muy mal, por la Grijalva y por toda esa colonia. Gracias.
Lorenzo Carrillo. Señor Carrillo, tiene 3 minutos.
Gracias, buenas tardes. Muchas gracias por darme la oportunidad de estar aquí con ustedes. Y pues también quería decirles a ver si pues hubiera la posibilidad de que cuando menos nos mandaran una que otra vueltecita carro de policía para que pararan un poquito las carreras porque están tremendas allí. Ya a esta hora de la tarde ya los carros, hay unos carros que pasan, parece que van jugando carreras. No, eso es todo, gracias.
Gracias. Thank you.
Ms. Molina. Molina. Molinar. Sí.
Sí.
Señora Molinar, tiene 3 minutos.
Gracias. Buenas tardes a todos.
Buenas tardes.
Pues vengo por los mismos problemas de aquí de Grijalva. Pues no puedo decir más, pero yo les voy a decir una anécdota que le dije al señor que estaba aquí antes, Trini López. Le dije que mi troca se me descompuso, se le cayeron las llantas por los hoyos, por el agua y por todo. Dijo, señora, no se preocupe, dele vuelta por el Eligio o por la Grijalva, dijo, y ahí no le pasa nada a su troca. Dijo, no podemos hacer nada. ¿Esas son palabras correctas o incorrectas?
Incorrectas.
Yo tengo 50 años viviendo donde estoy allí y no ha pasado nada hasta ahorita. todo lo que les digo, pero sí queremos un arreglo en esa colonia, por favor. Es todo, gracias.
Fernando García. Señor García, tiene 3 minutos.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Pues yo nomás vengo aquí a apoyar a toda la comunidad para que se les otorgue todo lo que piden, porque sí es un problema todo lo que tenemos aquí en nuestra área, principalmente los bases que no sé por qué los quitaron, sabiendo que se necesitan, y para mí es una prioridad eso de los bases. Y ojalá y tomen en cuenta todo eso. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Miriam Cruz. Ms. Cruz, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, council. Good afternoon. I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to address the public because I've done it before. Nomás quería decirle al público que a veces vengo a estas juntas y soy la única aquí. Entonces, muchas gracias por venir. Sigan viniendo, sigan luchando, porque lo mismo en mis calles, ¿verdad? En mi calle yo siempre vengo para contar que en mi calle también en Stockyard están manejando muy rápido. Entonces ustedes también tienen que seguir viniendo para seguir quejándose hasta que les arreglen sus necesidades, ¿verdad? Así que tomen el tiempo para venir por lo menos. Sigan viniendo. To City Council, yeah, I was here last week, the week before, and I've been coming for a couple of years now telling you that there's still speeding going on Stockyard. And I'm going to address Mr. Nevares because it was brought to my attention that I come and I talk to all of you, but Mr. Nevares, you are my representative. And I know that there have been things that have been going back and forth. I had proposed this roundabout. Everyone loved the roundabout. Well, not everyone. Most of you all like the roundabout. It was a great idea. We're going to get funding. Now we can't get funding. The problem is right now, just before I was driving over here, there was two little kids on a bike. Grandma was walking along with them. There's a Suburban driving down. It's a 25-mile-an-hour road. He was going probably about 40, okay? It's an issue. It's a real issue. You've been out there, Mr. Nevares. You've seen it firsthand. The safety, the priority is not only for our kids, but for our elderly who do walk, for our elderly that may be walking to a bus stop, que van a ir a caminar al autobús. If they're walking there, they should be safe. I mean, it's for everyone. There's a whole lot of people there walking, doing their exercise, doing what, getting their blood pumping, which is what they should be doing as a healthy person, and that's great, and I commend them. But what a tragedy that they can't do that because they're scared they're gonna get run over. Because they have to wait until the sun goes down so that it's not too hot. But then they're worried because now it's too dark and there's cars speeding. On top of, just down the street, there was a car doing donuts. Fun stuff, I'm sure, for the person in the car. Is it safe for anyone else? No. Obviously it's not fun. It's not a funny matter. It's a serious matter. And I actually have seen a raise in police going around my neighborhood, but it wasn't Socorro PD. It was sheriff and troopers, which is fine. I don't care who's out there as long as someone's out there. But they weren't patrolling. They were just passing by, and some of them still speeding.
Ms. Cruz, your time is up.
Thank you.
Sergio Cox. Mr. Cox, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. My name is Sergio Cox. I've been on this council before, and I was at once District 1 representative. These issues that are coming up from these people here are over District 1. District 1 representative is responsible for all those things, but he's not the only one that's responsible for those things. The at-large is also responsible. He's responsible for all of Socorro. So if the public needs to speak to somebody, they need to speak to both people, both individuals plus the mayor, about the issues in that district, in District 1. They should be getting help from that because, after all, you did have a tax increase here recently on a special meeting that you conducted. I have to question the legitimacy of that special meeting that you had over raising the taxes, because if and TML has something in the books that says, or not TML, I'm sorry, the law states that you will do these things in the open public. I've asked for help on this, and I'm asking for research on that to be done by the attorney to make sure that we were not in violation of the law when we conducted a tax increase at a special meeting, because they are supposed to be done at a regular meeting. If my interpretation of the law is correct, this is where I am asking for assistance from your legal staff and the city manager to check into that. I have some other issues that we need to come up with, but I'll discuss them with you as they come up. Thank you.
Francisco Domínguez. Señor Domínguez, tiene 3 minutos.
Dímelo más recio porque no le oigo bien.
Tiene 3 minutos.
Gracias por permitirme estar aquí. A lo que vengo yo es a decirles, tengo 43 años viviendo en esta comunidad, 5 en Moon City y 38 en la calle Lupeana. Mi calle, además de lo que han explicado que necesitan arreglos, necesitamos, si es posible, ya topes, unos topes, porque no hacen caso de la velocidad. Hay muchos niños en esa calle, hay muchos niños, y a veces los camiones los dejan a una cuadra de retirado, corren mucho peligro. No esperen que haya un accidente, un atropellamiento para que actúen. La otra situación es en Musiri, cuando hicieron pavimentaron y hicieron todo el trabajo en la North Loop, cuando andaban poniendo todas las, ¿cómo se llaman? Sí, señalando ya para echar el pavimento y el cemento. No dejaron entrada a la calle del High, a la calle La Puna tampoco. Yo creo que ustedes, algunos conocen, más Nevares, conoce allí. Esas dos calles son las principales que llevan hasta el parque. Yo me permití llamarle la atención a un ingeniero que andaba ahí, si es que se llama ingeniero. Lo que me dijo, como para salirse pronto del problema, dice es que no podemos hacerle entrada a todas las calles. Pero a la Stedham, esa se le hicieron 2 entradas. Y esa calle es un círculo nada más. Yo quisiera que hicieran algo por esa comunidad, porque yo pertenezco allí. Y además, más adelante, la Punjab, esa calle, René sabe que da vuelta hasta atrás, hasta el canal. Hay mucha familia ahí. Es la única entrada que hay para allá para atrás. También no tiene entrada, que porque está muy cerquita del stop light. La gente, la mayoría, da vuelta en U para meterse a esas calles. Es mucho el peligro. Es más el peligro ese que el que ellos mencionaron, que está muy cerquita de la calle del stop light. Yo digo que es mucho peligro. A mí me ha tocado. Dan vuelta y muchos, la
Señor
mayoría
Domínguez.
somos gente de la tercera edad.
Señor Domínguez, se
¿Qué
le
pasa?
terminó su
Se
tiempo.
meten y se van hasta el otro lado y han estado a punto de provocar accidentes. No se esperen, háganlo ya.
Gracias. Consuelo Ramírez. Señora Ramírez, tiene 3 minutos.
Sí, está muy bien. Buenas tardes. Mire, pues yo soy compañerita aquí del equipo de la comunidad de Moon City. Y pues yo también vengo a pedirles un favor, ¿verdad? De que nos ayuden porque pues necesitamos muchas cosas ahí, banquetas y todo, y es lo mismo que podemos decir todos, que estamos diciendo todos. Yo quisiera que nos pusieran un poquito de atención y nos ayudaran porque no vamos a ver nosotros ya los arreglos que vayan a hacer, pero nuestros hijos sí, los nietos todavía. Y eso es lo único que yo pido en compañía de mi comunidad aquí de la Moon City. Es todo, gracias.
Gracias.
Espero que nos atiendan, nos ayuden un poquito. Gracias.
Juan Rucobo. Señor Rucobo, tiene 3 minutos.
Ok, buenas tardes a todos.
Buenas tardes.
Yo, el problema que traigo, yo vivo en la calle Doris, tengo 42 años allí viviendo. El problema que traigo yo es que una señora fue a darnos una citación para que sacáramos nuestros carros del driveway y eso no es justo. No es justo que saque uno sus carros del driveway porque para eso paga uno taxes para tener sus cosas adentro de su propiedad. Esa es una injusticia para toda la gente que vivimos en la calle Doris, porque ella fue a darnos un citation a toda esa calle, nomás por los carros que tenemos allí. Ese es todo mi problema que traigo, que por qué quieren que saquen uno sus carros. Son esos carros que yo tengo, son puros carros clásicos, viejos, que estoy arreglando. Pero ya me llegó la edad y ahorita estoy trabajando muy despacio en ellos. Y no puedo sacarles a todas placas y a toda aseguranza porque los carros los estoy arreglando. Eso es lo que traigo yo. ¿Ok? Muchas gracias a todos.
Muchas gracias.
Santos Pérez. Señora Pérez, tiene 3 minutos.
Bueno, ya no voy a decir buenas tardes, ay, disculpen. La situación está en que yo también vivo, somos vecinos ahí de la Doris. Una señora que acaba de empezar a trabajar, o no sé, porque nunca la había visto, Olivas, medio agresiva, muy irrespetuosa la señora, pobrecita. Y sí, estoy muy molesta y todo el barrio está, ya levanté firmas, tengo como unas 50, 100 firmas. La gente no la quise traer ahorita porque no es el momento. Fue a darnos sanciones que porque tenemos los carros afuera. Le dije, ¿dónde quiere que me los meta? Le dije, no me caben en todo el terreno. Son terrenos chicos. Que los carros que están yonqueados no están yonqueados. Todos los carros están parados, tienen aire en las llantas y todo se mueve. No puedo comprarle aseguranza a 10 carros que tengo. Tengo 5 hijos, todos ahí vivimos, son 3 casas, ahí vivimos. La basura, estoy consciente con lo de la basura, de sacar la basura, claro que sí. Ella fue y dijo que no habla, no tiene modales para hablar, no se molesta uno con que le llamen la atención en ningún momento. Yo también tengo 40 años aquí en esta área, hice mi casa ahí, todo, junto con como la gente que está aquí. Nunca había tenido problemas hasta ahora. No hay problema, corríjanos, que si tenemos basura, que si tenemos esto, pero hay modales, hay forma de hablar. Claro. Muy déspota la señora, horrible, no tiene modales ni de hablar, ni bueno, de lo peor. Yo no sé por qué estará aquí en esta posición, solamente ustedes saben, pero las quejas de las personas es toda la comunidad que se las puedo traer, para que vean que no soy yo la que, no tengo nada contra de ella, pero eso es todo nada más. ¿Ok? Gracias.
Gracias.
Suki Alarcón. Art Méndez.
Buenas tardes.
Señor Méndez, tiene 3 minutos.
Okay. Yo también vivo en Grijalva Gardens y los mismos problemas que tienen ellos tengo yo, pero ahí donde vivo yo, en el Eligio, a veces no, como ahorita que está llovido, no podemos ni salir del driveway porque hay unos charcotes de la fregada. Y luego, ya ve que en El Paso, cuando están así las calles con mucha agua, vienen las trocas grandes y las pompean, porque en veces en los charcos, en veces hay vidrios y todo, ¿verdad? Y no puede dar vuelta por la calle porque hay mucha agua. Y como dijeron el martes, que no era, ¿cómo se dice? Priority, este barrio, digo, no hay un timetable para que cuando van a tratar tratar de arreglar allá una que otra cosa que se requiere. Ese es todo mi concerns. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Mayor, those were all our speakers.
Item number 5, presentation by City Manager regarding August 2018 monthly report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to give you some highlights for our work in August from all departments. Municipal Courts Department collected $78,797, received 378 citations from Socorro PD, 8 citations from the Department of Public Safety, and 3 ordinance violations. Human Resources Department celebrated August birthdays and anniversaries on August 24th. Employee of the month was Julio Dominguez. There was a civil service meeting on August 27th to set up a grievance and review police officer applications. There was one separation in the month of August. Our executive assistant, Adriana Rodriguez, accepted a position elsewhere. We had 5 new hires, 2 police officers, Will Robertson and Rudy Solis, city planner, Michael Medina, Public Works Director, Joel Gonzalez, and a laborer by the name of Mario Salgado. Our Parks and Public Works Department installed an interceptor at Bulldog Park, which holds 2,000 gallons of water, of stormwater, and it seems to be working perfectly now with the storm that we had yesterday. They worked on the shoulder work on Buford, Wynn, Juanita Duran, Nevares, Marquez, Muscat, and Belen. Clean ponding area on Horizon. Milling material placed on Mesa Drain. Collected about 8 dogs, 4 chickens, and 3 dead cats. And continued to maintain and mow, groom all city parks and ponding areas. Our police department received 2,155 calls for service in the month of August. Police officers continue to attend several trainings to keep them in compliance with the certification of TCLOS. Our city clerk department conducted and prepared minutes for 2 regular meetings on August the 6th and the 16th. Received 30 open records requests and responded to 24. Prepared 6 publications. Our planning and zoning department collected $30,937, issued 201 permits, 32 registrations, 9 applications, and issued 29 letters. Recreations department had the back to school event on August the 3rd, Socorro High School internship program outreach August the 6th, and prepared for the Bless Me Ultima play and the Harvest Festival. Our IT department installed new server rack for PD training facility, continuation with the implementation of the Fusion network, and troubleshooted all IT-related issues in the departments. Our grants department we received an award of 12 housing vouchers for families with people with disabilities, collaborated with the Lower Valley Water District on a joint solid waste grant for the community for fiscal year 2019, and partnership with Medical Center of the Americas on Economic Development Administration to bring Business Innovation Center programs to the city of Socorro. And those are just the highlights of the month of August. The complete reports are in the backup. Do you all have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to consent agenda, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Rene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colo Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 8, public hearing of an ordinance for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 2, Block 1A, Socorro Mission Number 1, subdivision at 671 Santa Gertrudis Road from R1, single family residential to R2, medium-density residential to allow 3 homes. 6:36, public comment. Public hearing is now open.
Just tonight, y'all heard from the citizens here about situations with some citations that they're being issued because of parking in their streets, and that they say they don't have places to park their cars. You guys have got into a practice now of breaking down R1s to R2s. The properties there cannot hold that many vehicles. What happens is those families that move into these R2s then have kids. The kids grow up. They also want cars. They also want vehicles. And there's no place to park these vehicles. This is a problem. You guys need to look at this coming down from R1s to R2s as much as you're doing it. I understand the reason why you do it, but still, this is one of the problems you will have, because as the families grow, as the kids grow in the families, they all want vehicles. They all want to have some place to park their cars, and there isn't anywhere. Subsequently, a car may be broke down and they got to work on it for a little while. They may get a citation if the cars are too long. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know. I have the answer for that, other than maybe we need to slow down on the R2s and the R3s, where we got people parked in, living in homes where they're like sardines in there, because the developers who have special interest groups are getting their way with all these R3s and R2s, and it's just not able to handle it. That's my comment on public hearing.
Thank you.
Miriam Cruz. I'll just remind council that I've asked before that during public hearings, especially for something that's a lot, if it could be placed on the screen so that people know what we're referring to, especially because this meeting is conducted in English and not in Spanish. And if a short presentation about what the public hearing is about, just short, even if it can be read off or presented in Spanish, I think that would be helpful for the people here today. Thank you.
Public hearing is now closed. Item number 9, second reading and adoption of an ordinance for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 2, Block 1A, Socorro Mission Number 1 subdivision at 671 Santa Gertrudis Road from R1, single family residential, to R2, medium density residential, to allow 3 homes.
Motion to deny second reading and adoption of said ordinance.
Second.
But I'd like to get the perspective of what we're talking about.
Before he gives us,
Mr. Rodriguez?
you know, we've the city has, since I've gotten here, have always made some changes in R1s, R2s, R3s. But I want the audience to know that we no longer do R3s. So that is it's not correct to come out and say that, you know, we're allowing these developers to develop R3s, because we no longer do that. Okay, so we will never have a small home again. Okay, and I know that for a fact because I'm the one that brought it, and we're the ones that passed that. So we won't have R3s. We'll only have R1s and R2s from now on. So that'll be a better home, a better quality of life for our constituents, and that will eliminate all of the cars that don't fit in R3s. So just with that, I just want people to know that we no longer have R3s.
Good afternoon, Michael Mina. I'm the city planner for the city of Socorro. The information that's been provided to me is by way of staff and also by the commission. The denial is based on the premise that the petitioner has violated code without coming to the commission and the department with permits. So he has illegally built property. He has 2 structures illegally built. He's attempted to build another one, the third one, without the proper permits as well. So the denial is by way of staff recommendation and also the commission.
Mr. Perez?
Do you by any chance have a map of the area? Only because I know it's in my area, just about, and I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where it's at.
Sir, I unfortunately don't have the map. I'll make sure that I have it available next time.
If I can make a recommendation, just to put in, we used to get abbreviated maps in the
Sure.
backup, and at least to give some kind of reference point as to what we're looking at, please.
Yes, so I'll direct staff to have it as part of the backup. There is a description, but
Right.
we'll have a visual for it as well.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Villalobos?
At this point, since he has two structures there, and apparently one is illegal, or both of them are illegal?
My understanding
Mhm.
is that they're illegal.
They're illegal. What is the next action? Does it stay as it is, and in the future he will not be able to, or they will not be able to rezone this area, or are they being made to remove these structures?
So part of the process with going in and the removal of the structures, we need to have another commission look at that. But if the desire of the body, that commission and this city council to move forward in that direction, we'll certainly provide that. But what is before us is to build a new building, which is non-compliant.
I'm sorry, one more question. Since, are we asking these residents to come and pull permits to make them legal?
So they have that option. Once we have code enforcers go out there and cite them of the violation,
Mhm.
they're encouraged to do that.
Mhm.
If they're unwilling to come in and follow the process, then of course municipal courts takes care of that component.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Just to add to yours, Ms. Villalobos, we all need to appoint somebody for the Building and Standards Commission, and that should take care of that problem. So they would make recommendations to say whether, you're gonna tear them down, or they're gonna give you the ability to, pay a fee, change the zoning to a legal non-conforming, and so forth. But right now, we don't have anybody because about a month and a half ago too, we removed the Building and Standards away from one of our commissions so that they could be a standalone. So what we're gonna have to do is, for the meantime, is try to find individuals that we can appoint so that we can start having that commission go, because this is not the only area that we're having and facing these problems. There's there's a bunch of homes all over the city that we need to correct. So I'm just saying that we remember that we need to appoint some people to the Building and Standards Commission so that they can take care of that as well.
And I just wanted to add to that. So when we go out and identify these properties and they have two dwellings, right? People live in these two dwellings, they're trying to build a third one, right? These two dwellings already exist. So at that point, they can apply through the Board of Adjustments for a variance to see if that's granted. And then if it's a substandard building, then we would go through the Building and Standards Commission, correct?
Right, but I think the component here, let me just clarify this, is that the Board of Adjustments has a purpose to grant a variance based on a purpose that it doesn't allow them to use their property in a certain way. It's called an economic hardship. In this case, that is not what's occurring. So I want to make that very clear, is that when things go to the BOA, it's to ask for a variance. Here, they're asking for a permit where it's already violating the law.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Villalobos?
And I don't know if I can talk about this right now, but I just want to, maybe you're not aware, but one of our past directors was, what we think was, I think, I'm not going to bring anybody in, was allowing some of these structures to be built. We don't know who they were. I mean, they come up with so many stories. I've heard so many. And I don't know what we can do here to remedy that situation, where they were given permission, whether it was verbally, in writing, many, many years ago, and we don't have documentation anymore, and these buildings have been sitting there for quite some time. So I'm not sure how, we're going to be able to address those, or what the law says about structures that have been there for many, many years.
Unless there's some indication that any that occurred on this property, I don't think we're supposed to discuss that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 10, discussion and action of resolution 555 authorizing the city of Socorro to submit a grant application to the Rio Grande Council of Governments 2019 Solid Waste Grant Program in the amount of $8,400 for a community pride cleanup project in partnership with the Lower Valley Water District.
Make a
This-
motion to approve.
The city's in-kind match contribution is $1,000.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Alejandra Valadez, Grants Coordinator. So every year we apply to the Rio Grande Council of Governments for the Solid Waste Grant. In the past, we've done it as an individual project. This time, we've been working with the Lower Valley District to kind of maximize the funding that we get. It's a very limited amount of funds, and they're spread out for the entire Rio Grande Council of Governments. So we thought it'd be better to partner up with them, use some of their resources and personnel, and combine it with ours. So we're working on a joint application for $8,400. That is to conduct 2 community pride cleanup events in the year 2019. We are committing an in-kind match of $1,000. That's for 10 personnel. And of course, we'll have our equipment available, and we'll bring some more details to you for those community cleanups once they happen.
Mr. Nevares?
Can you clarify? I heard 80,400, or is it
I'm
8,400?
8,400,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Mhm.
That's a big cleanup.
I know.
You added a zero.
Ms. Villalobos?
I just have a question because it was presented to me today
Yes.
by a constituent that is older
Mhm.
and was cited and, well, not cited, but given a warning. And they wanted to know if we had programs for the elderly.
So-
She's in a wheelchair. She can't take care of herself, but yet she was given a warning. And she has basically no one to help her. Are we picking a community? Are we nominating? Which community do you choose?
So right now, we're in the preliminary phase of the planning, but these 2 community events are intended to be community facing. That means that the focus of the program is to engage the community rather than to clean up for the community. And part of the component could be that per district, maybe you nominate a few residences where you know that there are people with disabilities or elderly, that the community can come together and take care of each other, kind of like a neighbor-to-neighbor program. And we would have, of course, an application or a nomination process for that. Right, those are some ideas that we've talked about. At this time, we do not have an existing program, but this is why the input from the community and you all is important.
Okay, thank you.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 11, discussion and action of approval request to waive the event permit fee for a parade for Hueco Elementary School on October 31st, 2018.
Motion to approve the request to waive the event permit for Hueco Elementary.
Second.
Michael Mina again with the city planner. There is a request by the Hueco Elementary School to have a $125 permit waived for their event, and we made a recommendation to waive it.
Mayor, we have a speaker, Miriam Cruz.
I had previously talked against waiving any more fees, and I still stand by that. But if you guys are going to continue to approve permit fees, I thought you all had talked about at a previous meeting about, what's the word? I don't know, making it a faster process so that someone in staff would just approve it. Because this does seem to be taking up time that you guys are just gonna approve. So I mean, why are we bringing these over and over again? Whether it's a Socorro High School parade, whether it's this parade, if you're gonna approve them, and they're always gonna be approved, and we have an understanding as to what we're gonna approve, whether it's church, school, or whatever, and they're always going to be approved. Why are we still continuing to bring them? Again, I'm still against it, but if you guys are gonna continue to approve it, we need to streamline. That's the word I was looking for. Streamline these things. Thanks.
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes. Item number 13
Mayor. Can I say something before we start?
on the item.
No? I'm just gonna say thank you for coming.
Discussion and action to rescind council's decision directing staff not to renew municipal judge's contract and to instead open position to new applicants.
I'll make a motion to, which one are we on? 11? 13. I'll make a motion to approve, to rescind council's decision directing staff not to renew municipal judge's contract and to instead open position to new applicants.
I'll second for discussion.
Mr. Rodriguez?
You know, when we had this item 2 weeks ago, I felt that this was it was wrong. I don't want to, you know, just. I said I wouldn't do something, and I plan to keep it. But you know, we have to be civilized. I think that we did a wrong. I personally think that we took a wrong decision because there was some things that came to light that made me understand that there was a possibility of what's the word I'm trying to look for? A personal vendetta or a conflict of interest, and I feel that, you know, we should rescind our motion and keep our attorney. The reason why is because, you know, there's hearsay about that one of us went to our judge, was thrown out of court, you know, maybe that was something vindictive, and we took a stand on that. You know, I don't know how else to word it or put it, but I think that we should resent this motion.
Mayor?
Ms. Villalobos?
And council, I wasn't here, and I don't know if you asked, I don't think the video is up yet, but I wanted to ask, do we have any complaints against this judge? Was she evaluated? What did her evaluation say? I've been in her court a couple of times, and very pleasant. She's very pleasant, she's open-minded, and she tries to work with the community. And that's very important for our citizens here in Socorro, because we've had judges in the past that were not very fair. We need to keep good people. So, you know, Socorro needs to keep good people here. So my question again is, was there an evaluation? Is there any complaints?
We didn't have any complaints other than I had reported last time that Mr. Duran had brought up regarding the signatures of magistrates. That she wasn't signing as many magistrates, however, we did have a meeting, and it wasn't, from my information was, that I received from the department is that she wasn't being called out to sign these magistrates, not that she was refusing. Okay, that's the information that I received from the department, but other than the public, I haven't received any complaints from the public at all in these last 2 years.
And just so you know, and I've said it before, I've had 2 compliments on the judge, aside from when I was in court with her. I don't know her from Adam. We've never, you know, just crossed paths here. But I really, I'm with you, Mr. Rodriguez. I believe that we should keep good people, and we should be thinking of the citizens of Socorro and not our own personal interest, if that's the case. If it's not the case, you know, but we should keep good people. It's hard to find good people nowadays. Thank you.
Mr. Perez?
Well, my only concern here is this, that we have a system that is working, and the judge is, and again, I don't know her either. I don't know her personally. In fact, I've really never had the time to talk to her. But my situation is that if she has shown to be level-headed, has shown to be judicious in her discharge as judge, then I don't think that we should, at this point, just renege on the contract or not to continue the contract, because there really is no reason not to do it. There is no reason to do it. There's no reason to cancel the contract. And I think that at a point where if let's just say hypothetically that she does show that there's some kind of glitch in her system or something has gone wrong, then this council can at any time cancel the contract because that's in the contract.
Yes.
You know, and so at this point, it's like the old saying: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if she's been dispensing justice correctly and evenly and unbiasedly, then why not continue? Those are my 2 cents.
Mr. Duran?
What they're failing to say is that her contract expired September 1st. The item was brought to council on the 5th, so her contract was over. So we're not reneging on a contract. The contract was done. If there was a problem, it should have been brought to council way before 5 days after the contract's over. And according to what she was asking for a raise. At our meeting that we had the other night, everybody was complaining about los sueldos. And right here, she's asking for $22,499 more per year for doing the same job. But yet, when we had Judge Gomez, he was available to our police officers 24/7 in the city of Socorro. Judge Vidales, same way, available to our police officers 24/7 in the city of Socorro. But yet, the day after she took office, here's a copy of an email that was sent to all our police officers.
Was sent to who? I'm sorry.
All our police officers. That she lives on the west side and is available to officers. If night hours, will meet officers halfway or at the downtown jail. She stated she prefers text messages over calls because sometimes she's in court. She has been sworn in and ready. So all of a sudden, she's only going to meet halfway. So we're getting half the service we were getting from our previous 3 judges. And we're paying the same, and she wants more money. This is what I am, the process is, it's a contract. We're always trying to get something better for our city. If there's a judge that will do a better job, then we should try and find it. The judge, I have nothing against this judge. Never been, pardon me, never been in her court. I don't know of anybody that's been in her court. But the fact remains that our officers are no longer having the Cadillac service we had with our previous judges. We're having to go downtown to have something signed. And there's been several instances where we have not had one single police officer in the city of Socorro patrolling. And why is that? Because they're not here. A lot of times the police officers have to get a magistrate, which is where they take the prisoner before a judge or a magistrate and provide probable cause. A lot of times they don't have probable cause, so there's no arrest. So whereby when we used to have it with all our previous judges, they would come to Socorro, the judge would meet them either at RVS or wherever they had them, or at the main office, and present their prisoner. If there was probable cause, then it was signed and off to jail they went. But what happens when they didn't have probable cause? The arrest was not strong enough. They release them. And our officer is back on the streets of Socorro protecting us. Whereas now, and this was when before I was elected, I had a meeting, and the chief said, no, don't call her anymore. So she's not been called anymore. And it's evident by how many magistrates she signed last month. One magistrate. The previous judges would sign lots of them. Same with warrants, only 6 warrants. So they have to run downtown to get a warrant signed, whereas when it's here, I'm not saying, we're not reneging on a contract. I'm not saying that she's done a bad job. I'm just saying, let's find somebody, if there is somebody, that can do a better job. We've already started the process. The job has been posted because the contract is over. There is no contract with this judge. She's cleaned out her office, and it's like she's not working here. Correct? Yes, ma'am.
So the contract ends September 1st, and council has 91 days to act on it.
Yes. Which we did. We acted on it
On the 6th.
on the 6th. We did our
Now
job.
they're trying to rescind.
Now they're trying to rescind what we did.
And just for the record, it's not $22,000 that she's requesting.
No, I
this
didn't
one.
say 22,000. I said
Yes, you
2,000.
did.
Oh, pardon me.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
22.
2,500, $2,500.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
Okay,
Very huge, very huge.
$2,500. It's in the paperwork. So, we need to, when we go out with our insurance, we went and found a better carrier. We didn't just sit there and take it because he was a good guy. We looked for something better, and that's all we need to do here. We need to just continue the process, and she is so welcome to apply. If she is the best candidate, she'll get the job. But we need to look for something better for the city of Socorro. Our officers deserve to have Cadillac service again, and not having to drive downtown and then find out they don't have probable cause, and then they're gone. We need to have them in the city doing their job.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Well, I did have a couple of issues with your statement, but
Sir,
I will say
Sir, I cannot hear you. I'm sorry.
I had a couple of issues with your statement, but one, this is for our city manager. I believe that we should get all our police officers and our chief to read our charter, because it states there that they have to go and give all of their complaints to their immediate boss, okay? Not to council. We're not here for this. We're policymakers, okay? The other thing is that, I'm glad you clarified that it wasn't 22,000, because that's a lot of money. One of the things is that we offered the same amount to our mayor, because our mayor was but he's talking about, we want to save money. But yet he was pushing for her to get a big raise to charge us for magistrates, per magistrate. And she did a bunch. So if you add that plus her salary, she was going to make 6 figures. More than the $22,000 that he claimed that this judge was asking for. That's not the case. So if you're going to give, like I said last week, if you're going to give a story, give all the story. Don't give half a story, give all the story, because I can bring stats all day long too. I just don't want to bigger with this. I'm just saying that I don't know this judge personally, never walked in her court. Before this, I said it last time, I came here one Friday, I think it was a Friday or Monday, I don't remember what it was, because I had to do something in planning and zoning, and I asked the people that were coming out, hey, how was the judge? Oh, she's good. No complaints, even though I'm pretty sure that they were here because they got cited. But I didn't hear anything bad, and I stated it here. I think if it's not broke, then why fix it? Like I said, I feel that we did a disservice to you all. And you know why that disservice? Because our court is empty. We're not looking at all the cases, and we're still paying our employees. there's nobody there, and it's costing us money, and that's a disservice. I think that, you know, she has done a good job. You know, like I said, I asked the people that were coming out just one day. That's all it takes, just to see how, you know, she was with them. And I will say it, you know, it's my belief. We shouldn't change when something's not broken. That's it.
Mr. Perez?
Mr. Martinez, question. Can the contract contain language in terms of the judge's availability to serve magistrates or that function?
That's a state mandate.
It's on there?
Yes.
It can, yes, you can.
But, I mean, if we're talking about more defined functions in terms of the magistrates.
Yeah, you can make it more specific, sure.
And we can direct staff to use the judge, but if the judge is not getting called out, how is she supposed to know she's gonna assign magistrates?
So then, I'm sorry, just to follow. So then, if it is a directive that police officers first call our judge or the judge,
Then we could keep a record of how many
Okay.
she declines.
okay.
But
So
when they're
then,
not
and
being
then that'll
called.
serve for it, that way we have the data. If we so choose to go and renew the contract with her, we have that data, and then we can say, you know, she didn't, or she did, or whatever the case may be, and then we have solid figures, instead of saying, well, we were told, and yes, they decided not to, and that to me doesn't fly. And so I'd rather have the hard data in, you know, in terms of, yes, these things were she was called this many times, and she declined, or whatever the case would be. That's what I would go for.
Ms. Villalobos?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Perez. That was something that I wanted to bring up. But can we also ask that Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Rodarte, I'm sorry. Can we also ask that that she'd come here instead of having our police officers move away?
You can stipulate whatever you need in
Mhm.
the contract.
Okay. That would be something that she would have to come here unless the police officer has to go downtown for whatever reason and can meet her there. And I think that's fair. You know, if nobody ever told her that's not the right way to do it, you know, then we're not doing our job by telling, you know, she was doing what she thought she needed to do. So, thank you. And and by the way, 2,500 is you know, to get a raise, life continues, and you know, everything goes up, and 2,500 per year is not a lot.
Yeah.
Mr. Duran?
I think that if, when an officer needs either a magistrate or a warrant sign, if they, instead of them calling, they should have dispatch call. That way there is a record. That way we don't have to worry about, well, she said she wasn't gonna come, or he's, you know, this way we have a paper trail, which we don't have now. It's, you know, their word against hers. So if we have a paper trail, we can put it in the contract that she has to be in Socorro when they need her. And see, another benefit was when the judge was here in Socorro, or any judge, other agencies were able to utilize us. Now, what does that do? We have an added police presence in Socorro. We've dropped from number 6th to number 16th as safest city in Texas. Could it be because, you know, we don't have enough officers? Well, we don't have enough officers. We know that. But as far as sheriffs coming here, there was a big rift when Judge Vidales left. And that rift is gone. Our sheriffs are backing up our guys. So, you know, it just, when you see service goes down, then you start to ask. We had a program, it was called Youth Court. Very, very, you know, good program. One of the young men from there that was in that program is now an intern in Washington, D.C. That program left as soon as she came in. We need more programs like that to help our youth, to get them involved. And it was really, really a neat program, and it went by the wayside, because we need to have a judge that's going to be in our town. That's what we pay for. It's in the contract, but it doesn't stipulate. We need to make those stipulations. If you want to continue with the same judge, I mean, I will support if you're going to make the judge do what they're supposed to do, which this one didn't. That's why I was so in favor of just going out and seeing what's out there. And if she is well qualified, she would get the job again. But let's see what's out there, not just, oh, it's not broke, let's, you know, but it is broke because our police officers are not in the city of Socorro. So do we fix the contract, or do we just try and find a better candidate, one that is local, one that does know the area? That was my main concern. And to address what Mr. Rodriguez said, those concerns were brought to me before I was elected. It was way before. So we just need to see what we're going to do. Are we're going to get a better contract or a better candidate?
Ms. Yellows?
I believe if we sit down and talk to her about today's meeting and what some of the things that are being said, that we need more participation, I think she'd be open to it. If not, maybe she'll pass if she doesn't have the time. I'm sure of it. But I also want to say, as the city grows, we're going to have more problems. And we're growing a lot. El Paso's growing a lot. El Paso used to be number one for 2 years, the safest city, when all the killings were happening across the border. What happened? We boomed. We're booming in El Paso. And we went down, and we're still the 10th safest city or somewhere around there. But I don't think it had to do with our judge, really. It had to do because we're growing. Socorro's growing. We have a lot of communities, a lot of people moving here. We have new communities that have opened and will continue to open. And we will continue to grow. But I believe, we have a good judge. We have a really good judge. We just need to tweak a little bit what we need, what we require here. And I believe by speaking to her, by communicating with her, she's done a phenomenal job for Socorro. And I think she will continue. I don't know her, like I said, except when for a couple of times, and I've only said hello to her. But there might be somebody out there that's qualified, to be here. That's true, but let's give her the opportunity. She's giving her all here. She's showing us for her first 2 years that she has turned around the community. I mean, I had people come up to me and be so upset, with the courts or with our planning and zoning, and that they have to go to court. And I've been to court with them, and she's very fair. The first time I was there, she had no clue who I was, number one. But she was very fair to everybody. And I introduced myself to her. And she was just the same, fair, open-minded. She had ideas. And that's what Socorro needs, ideas. Not somebody pounding down on their door, knocking on their door and and giving them a citation and not giving them a solution, because some of them are very elderly. That's what I heard all day today. I had a whole community I met with a whole community, and they were just telling me that we don't think about the elderly. There's a lot of elderly here that can't go out there and do the yard, and don't even have the money. They don't even have the money to pay their taxes, much less to pay somebody to come and clean their yard. So I just let's keep an open mind. Luckily, it's a contract that can be terminated if she's not doing her job, or she might turn around and say, you know what, it's too much for me. I can't drive all the way over there. Thank you, but no thanks. So, alrighty, thank you.
Mayor, we have 2 speakers. Miriam Cruz.
Miriam Cruz. Let's see, what did I write here? Okay, I believe that Ms. Rodarte addressed the magistrate issue. She said that they don't go to her by choice, not because she's not available. She said that directly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you said that very clear. It's not that she was told differently. It's not that she's saying no. According to Ms. Rodarte, our city manager, it is by choice of the officers that they don't go to her. It's not because she's not available. Second, all police officers, EPPD, anyone, are always looking for magistrates. They don't all go downtown. There's magistrates scoured all over the county. They can go to any of them. I'm assuming, and I don't know, but I'm assuming that the reason they go downtown is because we only have probably a holding cell here, right? And if they need to go to jail, they're probably gonna have to process them downtown. So it makes sense to go downtown. So what I'm saying is they're gonna have to go downtown anyway if they do have enough probable cause. So I think that addresses that issue. Also, it's not her main function. She's here dealing with tickets, not only traffic tickets, but planning and zoning citations. She's dealing here Monday and Fridays all day. And it looks like she's doing a good job for not a whole lot of pay, apparently, that some other people were not willing to take. The money issue, that's 3 minutes?
No, it's 1.5.
Okay, the other issue is money issue, and it's important to address because I talked about waste last time, but there's an investment, and when there needs to be an investment, just like there needs to be an investment in solar energy, there should be an investment in good people and people that we want to keep here in Socorro. And I believe she's a person that we want to keep here, at least for another 2 years. Thank you.
Sergio Cox.
So I have 3 minutes, or do I have just a minute and a half?
1.5.
Oh, you can't get anything said in that time. Having been a law enforcement officer for 26 years and I retired from the law enforcement, I can tell you right now that when we need a magistrate, if we make an arrest, we need a magistrate right away. That magistrate has to be available to you at all times. It goes through dispatch for the records. That magistrate needs to be available so that we can process the system, get them booked, and back in the field so that their police officers can protect the city. Or the fact that they have to go all the way to the west side to get a magistrate's warning and then come back to book downtown, that just takes that officer away from the city of Socorro that much more, okay? That is wrong. Now, I also have to question this being brought back on the agenda as a rescind based on a hearsay. Based on hearsay. When does a loser that's not on the prevailing side get to bring back an item to be discussed again against counsel based on hearsay? You have to have more justification than that. If you guys are still practicing Robert's Rule of Order, I don't know that you are or not, okay? And all these things needs to go through the mayor, and the mayor needs to be more involved. She's not, okay? If she's wanting more money for less time, then that's not a good deal for the city of Socorro. We as taxpayers have to pay more money now. You guys raised the taxes again. And now you're going to want to give this lady, whether it's $2,000 or $22,000, you're still wanting to pay somebody more money for less
Mr. Cox,
time.
your time is up.
That's wrong. That's very wrong. You have to take care of your constituents. You have to take care of your people here in Socorro. And by being able to take care of your people in Socorro, you have to have police and law enforcement here available to them to be contacted and be available to help them in their hour of need. If the person doesn't want to do the job, then don't rehire. It's that simple. The contract expired. It was legitimate. You guys made the choice. You guys called it. If you want to do it on hearsay, forget it.
Mr. Cox,
It's wrong.
your time
Thank
is
you.
up.
Rene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
No.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
Iván Colón Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 14, discussion and action regarding municipal judge 2-year contract and authorize city manager or her designee to finalize contract.
Make a motion to approve,
Second.
with the stipulations that we've talked about prior, with all the stuff that we want her, the things for the magistrates, and that she has to be here, stuff like that. And on another note, she's not doing it for less time, okay? A matter of fact, we're even asking her to do an extra day because we have so many hearings, cases. So she's not doing it for less time. We're actually even asking her to add another day, okay? So you guys will know, because everybody has a good tendency to say something that's not true.
Mr. Martinez, I just have a quick question. Since her contract is expired, do we have to agree on a new contract altogether?
We were just discussing it. Stop listening to us.
91 days.
The answer is it was expired, but actually you terminated it, but you rescinded the termination. So it's expired, but you're still within the 91-day window
91
where you
days.
can reappoint her.
And the position to those that already applied to Batusar?
I missed the question.
The
City-
opening of the position, it just closes and like if it never happened?
We notify them.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, and that's kind of happened before.
Mayor, and we have one speaker? Sergio Cox? Number 14.
Okay,
Yes.
so the motion passed. Okay. Once again, I bring back the contract issue. You want to rehire this lady, get your money's worth. She needs to be available for our police officers here who need to be available for our citizens. That's the bottom line. We need people on graveyards. We ask our police officers to work nights, enforce the laws, and they need a judge that's available to them to process and get it going. If the judge decides the probable cause, which probable cause is, do you have enough information for an arrest or do you not have enough information for an arrest? The judge right then and there decides. If the person is cut loose or cut free, that police officer is back out on the field in the community of Socorro where they need to belong. It's about money, people. It's about taking care of our city. It's about doing everything you can to help the people of the city of Socorro. And not personal stuff, okay? Please. We're having to look out for everybody, not just a few individuals. It's that simple. Make the contract strict, make her agree to the contract, make her stay to the contract. If she doesn't do it, then let's find somebody else. That simple.
I agree.
Mr. Perez?
I just need to reiterate, I don't know her. I have never had just a passing hello. And so there's nothing personal or, I am going by what we have established. And that's it. I would do that for anybody else that was in the same situation.
Ms. Villalobos?
Yes. Ms. Cruz also signed up, Mayor.
She did sign up?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Ms.
I'll be
Cruz.
last. I'll be after her. The only thing I want to say, Miriam Cruz, is that I think that down the line, I haven't been in trouble. I haven't been here in court every day, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure back in the day, there was someone here every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Can anyone shake their head, nod their head? No? You don't know?
No.
Okay. Never? Okay. Well, anyway, I think it makes sense that eventually we'll have someone who's here all the time, maybe someone who's retired. But at the moment, just like city council, most of y'all have a job during the day, right? And you have to attend to the job, and your job doesn't necessarily keep you in Socorro. And so just like her job doesn't keep her here except for Mondays, Fridays, all day, and then now that we're asking her to be here Wednesdays. Will we want someone to be here eventually for all the time? Yes. Do we know that if these candidates that have applied, will it be here 24/7 available to officers like we're wanting this ideal? Probably not. So, is it ideal eventually to find someone that's going to be able to be here all the time? Yes. Is she doing the right thing? Is she being just? Is she being good? Have we heard any complaints? People will be quick to complain. They haven't complained. I think that's really telling. Anyway, and I go back to the money. Like I was saying, sometimes, I don't know if you guys heard me because I started speaking really fast, but sometimes you have to invest in good people,
Ms. Cruz, your time is up.
even though you invest in good people. Thank you.
Mayor, just for clarification, she said we're adding another date. I couldn't hear that in the stipulation. It was just magistrates.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Oh.
Correct? Okay.
No, didn't.
No, I
You wanted to?
believe that if we can add a day or so. But I mean, it's up to. No. Then I'll take that back. But put all the stipulations that we've talked about. That's it.
Mr. Duran?
No, I was next. I hate to be all the time
Oh.
get bypassed. I just want to ask, since she's been here, just so the community can know, have we increased the funds that come in to our city because of the work that she's doing. Does that make sense? You know, that's important too.
I can't give you, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I can definitely bring them up once we bring the contract back. If you want us to, for you all to review the contract, we can do that. What I do know is that, like you said, we're growing and the citations are flowing thoroughly, and the code ordinances, I know that she works a lot with the residents to provide them more time for them to comply, right? Because the ultimate goal is for our residents to be able to comply with the violations.
Thank you.
Mr. Duran?
I think that Mr. Rodriguez did have a good point. I think we did, because we are getting more and more volume. I think we need to have her here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If we do give her a raise, I think that she should earn it and provide more services to the city. 3 days a week, I don't think is too much to ask. I think, and then I think we should also encourage her to have programs like Youth Court that do give back to the community. So I think if you could put that in there too, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then have all requests for magistrates and warrants go through dispatch. That way we do have a paper record.
Would you want us to ask the court if there's enough work for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Before we make that stipulation, and then if she decides that there is, because sometimes I do know, like right now, she does work, not just Mondays and Fridays. She was coming once out of the month, an extra day, and then it was becoming 2. And there was no pay increase, and she wasn't complaining about it, but it was adding up. But first we need to find out, is it really necessary 3 times a week, or maybe just adding another day to the month, depending on the need.
Yeah, Mayor. Yeah,
Mr.
so
Rodriguez?
make the motion to add that, but you know, it's, yeah, add that to my motion. But also, you know, she was doing it out of her good graces and goodwill. That says a lot about our judge. So we're adding 1 day a month? As, well, the if it needs be, but also, you know, it I don't know, it's, yeah, just to see if it need be.
I think, well,
But you know what, if you're gonna add 1 more day, that's,
Mr. Perez?
if you said that she added 2 days, it went up to 2 days actually in her calendar.
Since February.
Maybe we would ask for 2 days, and it's her discretion as to where she wants to apply those 2 days in that month. So if her workflow is higher wherever in the second or third week, whatever the case may be, excuse me, she is able to plug them in wherever she needs to.
Correct.
It would
I
be
mean,
2
and like I
days
said, let me do an assessment, and then I'll come back and say what the recommendation from staff would be.
That's fine.
okay. We'll look at that first. We'll look at that first, see what staff recommends first. Because now she's doing it out of her, goodness and kindness of her heart because of the workload. Now, if we're gonna force her to do that, that comes in with more money too. Because you're adding not just for the week, but you're adding it for 52 weeks out of the year. So if you look at 3 days versus the 2 days, you're asking for 1/3 of her,
That's why I'm saying 2 days.
Right.
Being up to
So,
2 days.
I think that, let them do what they have to do and see what staff recommends. Okay. Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 15, discussion and action to direct staff to explore different funding options for the capital improvement plan that was just approved by council, which includes the excavation of the Onion Field Basin excavation. Mr. Rodriguez?
I make a motion to direct staff to look at different types of funding sources. We already postponed the Onion Field because we wanted to explore, myself, the mayor, our city manager. We went to
San Antonio.
Yeah, but I forgot what it was. What was, Ms. Rodarte, what was the company we went? NatBank. We went to NatBank with Congressman Hurd as well. Try to open some possibility of getting some funding sources with better interest rates and stuff like that. And as of now, we haven't heard anything. I thought that we could have postponed it to do this, but I mean, it's an urgent matter. Just like the emergency service let us know that yesterday was a possibility of rain, and these people need some closure. We know why, because we also were faced with a lawsuit. So I mean, these are projects that need to be taken care of as soon as possible. I think that this is a need. It's not a want, it's a need. Also, I'm looking and talking with the county for possibility of being able to, borrow some money at a very low interest rate, so that we can not only do these, but also, fund some of our streets and sidewalks and stuff.
Was there a second? No. Second.
Can we have a speaker for this item? Sergio Cox.
I got a minute and a half. Having been on council, I was the one that went after that piece of properties that we had bought back since 2006 when I was on council. We were finally able to purchase the property after about 2012. The need is there. The need has always been there. The money hasn't been. The money has been misdirected and spent in other directions where sometimes yes, sometimes no. As you heard the people from Grijalva say, nothing's been done on their property. I don't know where the money's gone. But there is a need here. This flood and these floodings and the lawsuit that came out of Patty Joe with all those people because they got flooded out over the fact that the canal overfilled and flooded them out. And the city had to pay for all that because it was the city's decision at the time to open up the reservoir. Nonetheless, this is a need. We need to address this. We need to take care of it. We need to get it done. I came back in 2012 and I was successfully got council to vote on buying the property, and we purchased the property so that we can do this. It needs to get done, people. It's over. It's been too long, since 2006. We are in 2018, and we're still dealing with flooding and all kinds of issues, and it's got to get done. It's that simple. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, and Mr. Cox is correct, but in 2013, sir, not 12. Okay. Yes, and Cox was very good about, yes, very instrumental in talking to the owners. So I mean, we gotta get that, we gotta get it done. Okay.
Ms. Villalobos?
I've never really said this, but I would really like to get past the past and move to the future. We are different. We're trying. Our funds are limited, very limited. But we are trying. But when we get dragged back to the past where I was not in, it's very depressing. It really is. And it gives us a bad name when we're trying to move forward here. And I just thought I had to say that. And yes, we have a need. I mean, that's in our priority, you guys. It really is. But when you don't have the funds, it's like your household. When you don't have the funds, what do? You try to do the best that you can with what you have. And it has nothing to do with us up here. It's just that we're dragging the past with us, and we have to pay for the past. We're still paying. You're paying for the past. And we're taking the blow here for the past. But we are trying. We really are. I mean, I go online and I try to see what other cities are doing for something like this. I haven't run into anything like this. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, it's us. It's just us here. We're a little town, or we're a little city, and we don't have the funds. But sometimes I believe it'd be best just to bring the ideas instead of going to the past. You might have an idea that is great, but maybe you're holding on to it, and we don't know about it. But I do. I go online, and I try to see if somebody else is going through the same thing, how they handle it, how much it costs. I just, I talk to council people when we're out, and and nobody's been through anything like this. Alrighty. Thank
Okay.
you.
Rene Rodriguez?
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it was a motion to approve.
No, no. We have a constituent that's been raising her hand.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Wait, wait, wait.
Rene Rodriguez?
Aye.
Cesar Nevares?
Yes.
Ralph Duran?
Yes.
Victor Perez?
Aye.
And Evan Colom Villalobos?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Patricia Gardea, and I live on, I'm sorry. I'm Patricia Gardea, and I live on Patty Joe. So I didn't get flooded as bad as my neighbors. But I just want to bring up, on Thunder Road, well, the onion field, you know how, of course, how it gets flooded. But like you said, you don't want to live in the past, but you didn't live on Patty Joe or Arlene Circle. So you don't know what my neighbors went through. And what gets me mad is that every time this comes up in the city council meeting, oh yes, we're gonna get the funding, and then the next meeting, well, we don't have the funding. But we're gonna work on Croker Road and help them with their flooding and put a soccer field. A soccer field where it floods, get real. Now that is stupid. And that was two or 3 months ago when it came up, that they wanted to fix the flooding and put a soccer field. You don't put a soccer field where it floods. And that's a waste of money. So that's what gets me mad. I've lived there since '81. I'm 58 years old. I've been there 38 years. And this is BS. Like I said, you don't live on Patty Joe. You don't live on Arlene Circle. So you didn't go through the flooding. You don't know what my neighbors went through. And I'm just sick and tired of this coming up in the meetings. And then, oh yeah, we're gonna apply for grants, we're gonna do this. And the next meeting, 2 or 3 months later, well, we don't have the money for it. Which is bull. You guys could do something besides going to another area that floods and want to put a soccer field. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez?
You know, I cannot sit here and say that I understand what you guys went through. I don't. And I don't claim to, and I'm not going to say that. But one of the things is that, you know, just like you guys got flooded, other people have to be removed from their homes. There's a difference. Nevertheless, it's still the same outcome. You're displaced, period. Okay? And I understand. And that's what we're doing. Now, if somebody here in council said that they wanted to put a soccer field, and let me say something. You need to understand that we have to use, if we're going to go and remove people and use eminent domain, we need to give something back to the community. It doesn't matter. We have to look at possibilities. We can't just say we're just going to just leave it there. You have to say, hey, if we're going to go out and remove people from those situations, then we have to say it's going to be a parking lot, or it's got to be a park, or it's got to be something. It's got to be something, because that's the law. Whether when we get to it, then we'll find another solution, because we have time for that. So it might not be that. It's just something that has to be done, because it has to be done for a public purpose. And our attorney told us that it has to be done with a public purpose. So that was just something that we threw out there, okay? We didn't say, oh, it's gonna be done. It's just something that we have to be done, okay? One of the things is that this agenda item is, we don't have funds. We're gonna go get out funds. It states there that that's one of the things that we're going to do, because that's one of the things, a priority. That's a priority, because we still have a lot of stuff that we need to do. Like I told the residents in the back, look at all of the priorities we're doing. I told them yesterday, there are the stuff where your money's going. Look at them, it's got all of the money there. Did I lie to you guys? No, I didn't. But you guys didn't believe me because you guys haven't come here. So we are crunched with money. this is something that we're going to prioritize when we get the funding to get it done. Because it scares me that it might happen again, you know? And as time has shown us, since 2013, when Mr. Cox was here, it just came down on us, and then the following years and so forth. So we're trying to fix it now, and this is a priority. So I just want to say that we already brought this item, and hopefully it goes through, and you know, all we have to do is find the source, the funding source. That's it.
We have to take another motion.
Yeah, we would have to do another motion.
Make a motion to suspend the
Well,
rules.
I'd like to
finish
speak
up.
first, and then you guys can do the motion.
Ms. Villalobos?
Okay. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean that type of past, ma'am. I was referring to, we're always going back and bickering over something that somebody else didn't do up here or that happened in the past. That's what I was referring to. I am a very compassionate person. I am aware what you're going through there. I'm completely aware. If anybody has compassion up here, big compassion, it's me. I've done things on my own that nobody here knows. I'm serious. You guys seen me out there in the middle of the night with constituents. I didn't mean that your past, whatever happened, I didn't mean that, ma'am, at all. I meant we need to move forward. Don't come out here and pound us. Give us, maybe you have a better idea that we don't have. Maybe you've seen something. Technology changes all the time. New ideas come up. And I'm hearing it from all kinds of people that tell me, hey, why don't you guys do this and this and this?
Ms. Villalobos, can we stick to the point?
Call for a question. We get it.
Or are we gonna make a motion to allow Mr. Cox to speak or not?
I'd like to make a motion to allow him to speak. We let other people speak. I think we should allow him to speak too.
Second.
Rene Rodriguez.
Yeah, we're going. Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia.
Yes.
Having been involved in all of this since back in 2006, I know the history of what all we tried to do. We tried to go to the Army Corps of Engineers for assistance on this. We went everywhere we could to get the funding and the available help that was there for us. And the Army Corps of Engineers told us back then in Albuquerque, we can't help you. You're not on our chart, okay? But I need you guys to understand that District 1, Mr. Nevares, District 1 has had all the flooding, all of the issues. Lydia drainage, I brought that up. That's the reason it's there, because I brought it up. We had people that we had to evacuate out of that area by that park. Nothing was done when I brought it up because of personal vendettas between council, okay? I got thrown aside, I'm telling you right now. The Thunder issue, those people over there had to be evacuated. It had to be dealt with. Patty Joe came afterwards. This is 2006. I'm telling you how bad the flood was. Coker, once again, Coker, District 1. All of these areas that got flooded out are District 1 and have not been thoroughly addressed. We're trying to do what we can, I understand. We tried to do what we could back then and just kept running into walls, brick walls. But we have to live in the past, Ms. Villalobos, because the past keeps repeating itself, and we got to stop it. The flooding continues to happen over and over again. And I can tell you that those people that live down in that area, I can tell you right now, when they see those thunder clouds and those clouds up and all that rain coming, you better believe they're praying, because they know what's getting ready to happen, and that is the past. You, council, are responsible for trying to do something and do everything you can to help do this. I'm with Renee on this. I don't care what happened in the past about all the issues and the politics and all that crap. I'm telling you, it needs to be addressed and got out of the way now. It's that simple. Thank you.
Rene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
Ivan Colombia.
Yes.
Do we have anything on item 18, 19, or 20?
Make a motion to delete items 18, 19, and 20.
Second.
Rene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Rene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia.
Yes.
Se 10:45, meeting adjourned.